Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Man United are not acting like a big club. As Amorim said, they are a big club by name, but they aren't a big team. The players are not acting like it. I said that on the football terrace, and I said it on Hussam, and I said it on my chef. And my take on it is very simple for the people that don't know what I'm talking about. If a big club loses 3-0 at home, there should be an earthquake. Breaking news everywhere. Now, I know that people have to be patient, but I think Man United fans need to accept where they are now and trust the process and do what the Arsenal fans did when they hired Arteta. Trust the process, because I don't think Amorim, I thought I was wrong. I raised my hand. I thought Amorim would change this quickly. It doesn't look like it. It looks like a tough job for Ruben Amorim to change the mentality of the players, to not accept, and the fans as well, to not accept where they are. Some of the fans are saying trust the process. Some of the fans are already shitting themselves and saying we're not going to come back. So that's a different story. And Man United fans with a lot of fanboys. That is, we love this player, so we're going to criticize this player, and we don't like this player, so we are going to criticize this player. So protecting some and throwing some under the bus. Chelsea today deserves some criticism for the performance of Cole Palmer, Jadon Sancho, a lot of them, Enzo Maresca as well. Maybe that's why I said that Chelsea are the least favorite to win the Premier League. And last but not least, of course, Liverpool are the best club in the world at the current moment, the best team in the world at the current moment. Mohamed Salah is the best player in the world, 26 GA in before Christmas. Double digits, as we say in America. Double-double, as we say here in NBA. Double-double before Christmas is fucking crazy. There is no treble. There is no triple. There is no triple-double.
Triple-double, including appearances, Mo. Including appearances.
Triple-double, Mohamed Salah is crazy. But listen, people. I don't know where to start. I actually wanted to start with Man United. I want to, listen, we analyze the game, football terrace. I did it on MHF. I did it on Lahwa, blah, 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 all this talk. Why there's a lot of fanboys? Why the fan base turned into, I like this player, I'm not going to criticize him. I don't like this guy, I'm going to scapegoat him. No matter what this player does, and you know what I'm talking about, and you know who I'm talking, and you know how people act.
I didn't watch any content really today. So I don't know what exactly you're referring to. So I feel like there's something that happened. But
no, still, I'm gonna tell you, Bruno Fernandes still got the most shit today. even though I thought he had a good game.
Even though he created the most clear
Exactly. I'm like, he got that from everyone. He got the most shit today. I'm like, how? How did you watch the game and think that Bruno was the problem on this pitch?
The only way you could give him shit today for me was the fact that he scores a lot of those goals normally. That's it. Like the shots that he missed, a lot like those normally he scores those. So it's like, yeah, give him shit for it, but it's not like there were easy chances. There are chances that only really Bruno creates for himself. That's tiring. I don't do the whole this all started. I'll tell you where this started. This started with the rise of like content creating and the whole Twitter, that's where it started, because you started to see the whole, like, I'm blocked by certain big channels because I used to consistently call out the negativity and using negativity to build your fan base and creating these factions within your club to help build your fan base, to help build talking points. And now it's spiraled to a point where it doesn't make any sense. It really started with the whole Pogba scenario back in the day. Then it's got worse with like Martial versus Rashford, which
yes, like, the Martial fanboys. It started with a big Twitter account having Martial as their profile picture and having a lot of followers.
Yeah. So it's like, honestly, when it comes to the Martial Rashford thing, it should never have happened because they were both playing well. They were swapping it out. Like there was no issues. People were like, well, Martial should start every game, not swapping, not switching. And you're like, this is stupid. Then Pogba Bruno was the big one where it was like, oh, Pogba's way better than Bruno, and people like they didn't care who was better or not. Bruno was happy he was playing with Pogba. Pogba was happy he was playing with Bruno. But everybody else was like, we have to build around this guy, and it just spiraled, man, and it continued to spiral as we see with Jadon Sancho leaving and people being like, oh, it's like he's not even our player anymore. He's not our player anymore. And people, Donny van de Beek had a little section of fanboys too. Like I can go down the list, and there's so many players where, and like Donny van de Beek, what did he do to deserve a section of fanboys? Like, what did he do to deserve a section of fanboys of people who were like, we ruined him? I'm like, what do you mean we ruined him? He came from Ajax. He was shit in the Prem. That's not our fault. Like, he was so trash. People were like, oh, it's just the club. He was such a baller. The guy was a one-touch merchant who would get in the box and play the role that Bruno played, but not as good. That's all it was. And when we got him on the pitch, he couldn't do anything. So, like, it drives me nuts when I think I could go down the fucking list of factions that happen at our team. And the fact is, at this point, everybody sucks. Everybody sucks except Bruno, except Mainu. Sorry, not everybody. Obviously, Ahmad. I think the defense is shaky, but I think the defense just needs to come together. They need time playing together in the system. It is a tough system. Our wing backs aren't good enough for this system right now. Like, Malacia should never touch the pitch, in my opinion. Like, he just shouldn't. I think Martinez should be a great backup. I don't know if he's going to be a great starter moving forward because he's having a few. Honestly, sometimes I look at Martinez and I'm like, you remind me more of a DM at this stage. And like, because he does amazing things in the middle of the pitch. He drives forward, but then he makes mistakes that cost us goals. The thing about our team, forgetting the factions and what's really going on, is like, at very least I can say most of the problems have been very individual based. It has not been on the manager. Yes, he's trying out players and playing them when I don't think he should. But you've got to play guys like Malasa. You don't really have anybody else, right? Delo's kind of not playing great. He's not working well in the system. So I think when I look at the first goal, for instance, from like, what's Xerxes doing? Like, you're big for nothing. Like, what is happening when you allow a goal like that to happen?
You're big for nothing.
You're 6'5" and you're getting absolutely demolished on set piece after set piece after set piece. And this was just on him. And people were saying, well, what are we doing in training? I don't care what you're doing in training. You're 6'5" and you just let this 18-year-old kid, like, when he jumped, it was, the timing was off, everything was off. It was crazy. So I look at a lot of our goals and I say, well, it's on the player normally. It's on the player. And I'm not sitting there going, well, if we set up differently, we would have had a better chance. Half of the time, the players just make mistakes recently. And when this is a crazy stat, you want to hear a crazy stat? So everyone's talking about how Arsenal scores goals on set pieces. 42% of our goals, probably higher after today, 42% of our goals conceded are from set fucking pieces. Know what the league average is? 11. That is crazy. That stat discrepancy right there, that tells you, like, I don't even know what to do in that
situation. Four times the league average.
The league 4 times the league average. Like, it wouldn't be crazy, Rack, if I said 42, and I said league average is 35. You'd be like, oh, okay, well, you're just a little worse.
Yeah.
4 times. And we have like 5 guys who are 6'2". Like, what's going anyway?
Yeah, they have like really big, like they have like big
The
guys.
only
like, it's
silver
not
lining
they're
there-
small.
The only silver lining there is the implication that potentially you're not bad at defending in open play. But even that is like tenuous, right?
It's one of those things like that's our participation trophy. Like, okay, cool, we're good at. So teams just need to get set pieces against us, and which you get a lot of set pieces in any game. So I look at it this way, like that the saving grace with that is that should be a pretty fixable thing with enough time. That should be something that you can fix really easily. And when you do fix it, if you drop that down to league average, all of a sudden, if you do the math, that means we're winning a lot more games or drawing a few more, and we're much higher up the table. So that's the only saving grace you can take from that. But like it's been a problem for us for like 2 years now. This year it's just exasperating.
You know what? When I'm watching Man United, I keep saying this. Okay, I've been saying this for a year to Terry on the Football Terrace as well. I tell him, people take what I say with a pinch of salt. That when I say Man United are not a big club anymore, no, we're the biggest club in the world. Well, how do you dare say this? The reality is, Man United players don't believe they play for a big club. They just don't. They don't believe. And when I mean a big club, let me tell you what I mean by a big club. Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp installed this in players' heads. It didn't matter who the manager was going to be for Liverpool Football Club. Every player step on the pitch every single game knowing that I need to win this game. Like, it doesn't matter who you play. Apart from, of course, you play Man City away, you play this. This, for the people that watch Arab football, some Arabs, they know that Al Ahly, for example, in Egypt or in Africa, every game that Al Ahly plays, they know their favorites. Real Madrid, no matter what team Real Madrid plays, Man United used to be that club under Fergie. Now, for example, I'm telling you that these players win home and it's okay. It's fine. We lost 3-0. We're in bad shape. It is okay. It's nothing. The problem is it's not becoming something new, Cam. It's not new. You literally lost under the last manager 3-0 at Bournemouth at home, and he stayed at the job. So these players today are thinking, well, if the last manager stayed, I'm not saying sack the guy, but the reality is, okay, this is where you are now. You lose at home 3-0, and it's all right. The players go and have dinner. And I'm not saying to stop your life. But to lose 3-0 at home and to have that reaction from the media, like, yeah, it's a process. It's okay. The players are bad. What do we do? And then move on and start talking about Liverpool. Well,
I think, okay, so I hear what you're saying. There's no jeopardy. I hear what you're saying. The jeopardy's not there anymore in the sense of like the urgency there, but it's tough to have urgency when you're that far down.
Can I put at our Inter's worst era in the last like 30 years, when we didn't make Champions League for 6 consecutive years, losing at home to whoever team at 3-0 requires an earthquake. Like, something is fucked up completely. And by the way, I'm telling you guys something. We hired a new manager and they lost. They got sacked after 5 games. And I'm not saying sack Amorim, right? But the reality is, it's the club acting, process or not process. But it's that you're muted, Dak. You're muted.
But you also know that the environment in Latin clubs in Spain and Italy is different than the environment in English clubs.
Can you elaborate then? This is very good. Yes.
Okay. Because we know, okay, don't get me wrong, managers get fired fast in England as well. But generally speaking, when you're at a big club, you tend to get a bit more time, especially if you're a big. I'm not no shots fired at Andrew, but I mean like the established kind of United, Liverpool, probably Arsenal. We saw it with Arteta. You get given a certain period of time, and there's a degree of patience. We also know, and I lived in Italy, so you know.
Graham Potter wasn't given time, right? Graham Potter wasn't given time. 1 season, half a season, gone.
Sure, but Ancelotti wasn't given much time at Juve, for example. He didn't win Serie A in his first season. They got rid of him. So what I'm saying is, there's more of a culture in Italian clubs and in Spanish clubs, for example. Probably maybe Portuguese. I don't know. I can't judge Portuguese clubs as much. Real Madrid fired Benitez after 15 games or whatever it was. Yeah, you know, these things
In
have
Real
happened.
Madrid, they sacked the manager after 12 games because he lost like 5 of them.
Yeah, but okay.
Lopetegui.
You know, but they're like, get out. What are you doing here? We don't
But-
care if
but-
you're
but-
new or the team is shit.
But I don't necessarily think that means that someone's a big club or a small club.
No, I actually think it's a standard. Standards.
No, standards. Oh God, well, let's not get into
If
this
you
whole
call
standards
yourself the
debate.
biggest club in England, which is a lot of Man United fans stay on streams and on social media and on TV and tell us we're the biggest club in the world. I'm not saying sack Amorim because it's fucking
okay.
2 months in, but I'm expecting more.
How do you define biggest? Because by definition, we are. We're like Liverpool and United are basically like
Okay, Liverpool are the biggest.
they are
Yeah.
now, but like 4 or 5 years ago when they were doing bad, it was United. It
Okay.
goes back and forth
But,
between
okay, but that's the whole point.
Okay, here's
You are
the
not-
argument. Whoever's doing the best in England between Liverpool or United are the biggest team in England at that time.
Yes,
That's how it's
yes,
been. That's how
100%.
it's been. And I'm not going
Yes.
to argue that as much as like
I'm not going to argue it
it's a
because it's a fact.
So like
Number of trophies and
but
blah,
what
blah,
you're-
blah. And
what
all
you're
this.
saying is, and you're saying, I get what you're saying, but you're saying, I think what you're saying is a bit incorrect. Where it's like we're not a big club. It's like we're not acting like a big club. at the moment.
Okay.
And that
Fine.
is correct.
I'll take
because-
it. I'll take
because
that.
at this stage, we're not acting like a big club in a sense of the jeopardy isn't as deep. And part of that is on Eric Ten Hag too. During his time here, he made it clear all that matters is we got to win a trophy here or there. And where I perform better than these two managers, it was never.
And your fan base started bantering Arsenal fans, Cam, for coming second and not winning a trophy when Man United
Well,
were like,
you
but
could.
we won the Carabao
I
Cup.
mean, yeah, but I would do
listen-
that every year. I would always do that.
And I would even debate. I would also debate. I need to know what you mean by
Don't do
acting
that.
like a big club. I need to know what you mean by acting like a big club as well.
So-
Because
so-
look,
Jeopardy.
the thing, but the
Consequences.
But anybody who thought that this, even when you have Ten Hag coming or Amorim coming, anyone who thought this turnaround would be very quick and easy.
I didn't. No. Rack,
yeah.
I'll tell you what I mean.
I'm not talking about you, Cam. I'm not talking about. I'm just in general. This thing is going to be an Arsenal type process,
Yeah,
a Liverpool type process.
Oh, no one is gonna wait. No one's gonna wait.
I think it will
But
be.
if you're not going to wait, then unfortunately this thing is going to be. They haven't waited. They had Mourinho, they had Ten Hag, they had Oli, they had all these other managers. If
Bless
you're not
Oli
going to
Slow.
wait, it's not going to work.
I agree.
End of
Even
next
with-
season, if Man United are not in the top 6, fans
I
are gonna
also-
say sack him.
No.
Yeah,
So
look,
hear me out.
You guys know that the reality, right?
real quick.
Well, there'll be a section of fans that say
There'll be
this
a
time
section
next
of
year. I
fans.
feel like this definitely will be a section of fans saying Amorim now. This time.
I hope so. I hope so. But
Oh yeah.
I think it-
I do as well.
the
But we
truth
all know.
is, the reason I said
We all
we're
know.
not-
We all know.
Do you know the reality? Sorry, I'm gonna before Cam comes in. Do you know the reality, right? Arsenal fans, the difference between them and they were fed the PR of the football club, the PR of the content creators. The content creators were feeding people that wait, patience. He has a style. Arteta's the man. Blah blah blah. He's gonna get you challenging. And when they challenged and they didn't win the league, they were like, "Oh my God, he's great. He's great. He's gonna lead us." Man United won. I'm telling you, the mainstream media will not have this. Roy Keane is gonna sit on his seat and say, "This is shit. These players are shit. This is shit. Sack the guy." He's done that all the time because he doesn't know Amorim. Amorim's not his
Who
friend.
wanted Arteta out from like
Yeah, there's always been a section over
Yeah,
even now that still wanted Arteta out. Especially
You know
after
that it's the minority.
especially when they finished eighth.
It's the minority. You guys know it's the minority.
No, now it's the minority.
No,
I'm talking the
I
second
don't
year
think
when
it
they
was
finished
the minority earlier.
eighth.
After COVID.
Yeah, there was a loud voice.
Was back
when he finished 21, when they finished 8th again.
Yeah.
A mega voice wanting him out.
Literally, no, not even. I could go even further. I could even go later.
Man United fans will do the same if you
Well,
finish
okay,
seventh.
yeah,
They're gonna do the same.
But here's the thing. So when I say acting like a big club, I'm saying that there's two things that we did wrong so far, and this was going to happen. First off, I'm not saying this was a problem. I'm saying this is just natural in this process. It was not getting rid of Eric Ten Hag after the FA Cup, realizing that he's taken us far enough. I get why they kept him, but if you are big, like if you're going to act big and you're going to be ruthless, which we need to start doing, you would look at the situation and go, we need a reset, which means we need a different manager, which means he's going to need time to start betting in his system and what it might be. And then also knowing you were going to always let him go and letting it go for as long as we did. That's kind of the problem because we all knew it was briefed. It was known they were interviewing. So it's like, you might as well have let him go earlier and let Ruud take over. Like, that's how I look at it. Not saying Ruud should have stuck around. We shouldn't make that mistake twice, but let him take over while you try and get Amorim, because you know that's who you want. You're buying players for him. It was very obvious. So those are the things I think they're going to have to learn. This is their first. This is the first year for me. I'm not stressed about Ineos at all. I'm not one of those people. And I think if Amorim doesn't finish top 6, I don't care. Like, that's not a big deal to me. I just need to see Amorim do what Erik ten Hag didn't. Continue to play your style. Continue to chop players where you have to, because he did something that's acting big for me. Is Rashford, sorry, you're not working out. I'm sitting you. First manager to really do it. Even Bruno came off the other day. Bruno never comes off. He took Bruno off again. I was like, he's showing that he's ready for this job, but he's going to have time. Just like Rack said, you cannot fire this man before his contract's out.
Cam, I think the most damning thing is that I wasn't surprised by today's result.
No, I was surprised.
I was surprised.
You need City to one away from home. No. Oh, I wasn't surprised by this, Andrew. Don't act like the high. Oh my God, he's like, I'm not.
Maybe the scoreline, but not the defeat, because this is a up and down Man United team. They can go away at City.
That's fair.
And win 2-1.
Why beat City? Why win? Why beat City?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So everyone goes like that. So we can do it. We can do it. But I'm really unsurprised by the result. Another 3-0 against Bournemouth. I'm not surprised that they could lose, because that's what they are. They're up and down.
Yeah, right now anybody can beat us.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I think anyone that said all these players are crap before, like when Ten Hag, are now piling on. Surely those guys are just hypocrites, because they already thought the players were rubbish anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not gonna. What Amorim, unfortunately for Amorim, he's come mid-season, so he doesn't have a pre-season like slot like a Maresca to iron things out, because he doesn't have. He's got to play every 3 games.
Even Maresca took some time.
Like, yeah, exactly. I mean, he doesn't have. He has to rely on certain people like a Bruno if you want him out, or anything like that, like a Lissandro Martinez. By the way, oh my God. He's
either one. So here's the thing: 1 second he'll make a terrible mistake, then the next he'll make a line-breaking pass through 4, or like a perfect switch of play, and you're just, who are you? Which player are you? Like, can you just, like, are you good or are you terrible? Like, don't be in the middle.
Well, that's why I don't think it's January. It's next summer is where it is most important to see what the zone is, how they back him. Ins and outs of the club.
You got to get rid of a lot of people.
Guys, before we go on, big up everyone that joins from Al. Guys, we have almost 500 people here. We haven't even started yet. So hit that like button. Guys, let's get to 200 likes. We're almost at 100 likes. Hit that like button. The people that say Forza Juve in the freaking whatever chat. Who cares, bro? Who cares?
I used to live in Torino, so Forza Juve.
I used to live in Torino. It's a nice city, though. I was just there last summer, actually. It's nice.
I think of a better message to annoy Mo with.
I'm like, you think they annoy me, bro? Juventus are in the mud now, so you guys don't annoy me. Hit that like button better, guys.
There's another manager who didn't turn things around exactly how everybody thought. Thiago Motta, like, he was supposed to be, he's going to Juve, he's going to be the next best Italian.
Have you seen him? Have you seen the team he has?
Like, I get it, but have you seen our fucking team?
Yeah, man. The way how the hell can you ruin a guy like Koopmanis who does well in Serie A? Like, he's done well for the last 5-6 seasons, and now he just ruined him.
I don't know.
Like Serie A, I follow more than like at La Liga or any other. It's the second league I follow. I don't follow anywhere near as much as the Prem, but I was following the Thiago Motta situation. I was expecting him to be, the next. That's it. He's going to watch. For a while, Juve just owned Serie A. I was expecting to see the rise of Juve, better football. Start watching a few games, draw. 2 shots on net, no shots on target, draw, 10%, 20%.
Going back to Manchester United and the defeat to Bournemouth, I want to say that I actually think Man United might break Amorim.
Nah.
Wow. Did you say you think or you want them to?
I actually thought that Amorim would fix it, will turn it around.
He will.
I think it's very tough. I genuinely think he's gonna break Amorim. They're gonna break him. That club might break Amorim as they broke Mourinho, Van Gaal, David Moyes.
The difference with Mourinho was past it already. Van Gaal, I'm sorry if you.
Can you tell me what's the difference between Amorim and the rest of them?
Well, one, he's a lot younger. than those guys. First off,
Yeah.
you're
So
talking about
he's less experienced.
yeah,
Okay,
he's less experienced, but he's still
one
one.
nil Mo. 1-0 Mo.
So it's not about the
1-0 Mo.
experience. It's not about the experience. It's about the fact that he's coming in with fresh eyes and a system that's modern, and it's not the old way of doing things. He knows how to manage younger guys and start like he's still young. He's got time. He's not like Mourinho, who like Mourinho's like Mourinho put the pressure on him to turn it around right away because Mourinho's the one out there saying I'm the best. I'm gonna win the Like I think Amorim, the difference with him is he knows this is a project and he's gonna build it. And that he's gonna use the resources.
I think he might now realize it's going to be bigger than he thought it was.
100%. It's not going to be.
I want to ask Ram a question. Do you think Man United? I think the next 5 years, from 25 to 2030, will be a new era of English football. It will be a completely different era of the era that we have seen over the last 5-6 years, right? The Klopp versus Pep era, the Pep versus Arteta era. I think the next 5 years will be more than one club. Two clubs, 3 clubs. Do you think Man United will be part of that? Why you're laughing? Why you're laughing? I didn't say a joke. I didn't say a joke.
Take your Liverpool hat off, man.
I'm being serious. Just because
guys,
that is a very, very important question.
Yeah,
by 2030, which is 5 years from now, we're almost 2025. Man United will be 18 years. If that happens, without even being considered title contenders or a Champions League contenders.
I think we
the
win
last
the
time Man United. Say that again?
I think we win the Prem in either 2028 or 2029.
You win the Prem.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you think within the next 2-3 years you will be part of the pack that will
100%.
challenge for the league, like Chelsea now or Liverpool or Arsenal?
If we're saying like now. Chelsea now, for sure, 100%.
You think you're going to be like Chelsea now within how many years?
Within 2 years. Within 2 years.
2 years. You'll be like Chelsea today.
In the conversation of being right there. I don't think we'll be the team that's going to be winning it, but I think we'll be in the conversation.
I'm not saying, you know what?
I don't think Chelsea's going to win it, but they're in the conversation.
I didn't say win it or not win it. My question was very simple. Are you part of that pack?
Yeah, of course.
We say
100%.
No question.
Absolutely.
No. I mean, he said no question.
No question.
I mean, being part of the pack and winning it is two very separate things.
100%.
Like it differentiates two different types of teams. I think being a part of the pack is a lot easier. Like you can be a part of the pack, you can be the bottom of the pack, but you're still part of the pack. You know, I think 2030 they should more or less be there. I expect them to be there. Winning it is a completely different kettle of fish. Saying that you're above the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, City.
But here's the deal, Ram. Is Salah going to be there in 2028? No.
But we could have someone who
no, you could. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about generational talents and lifetime talents. If we're going to sit here and say we should objectively have this conversation, me as a United fan, Salah is going to go down as one of the top 3 players maybe ever. If you guys win the Champions League and you win the Prem again this year, he's going to go down in absolute lore of how good he is. And you're going to tell me that when that player fucking goes, it's not going to make a huge difference? Like, it's going to.
Do you know why? You may call me delusional, right? But my club has seen so many forwards come and go. I've seen Fowler go, and we had Owen. I've seen Owen go. We got Torres. I've seen Torres.
None of these guys are Mohamed Salah. None of these
guys. Talent in a different category.
We listen. At some point in the future,
as well. Like we've seen so many forwards go.
But Ram. At some point in the future, Cam has a point, right? At some point in the future, when we have to replace Van Dijk, Salah. And Trent not so much right now.
Alisson's already been.
Alisson. Yeah, I mean, let's. Maybe he's going to be there, but I mean, obviously, but it's not going to be easy because naturally, whoever we replace Van Dijk and Salah with in same 4 years, in 2 years' time or 3 years' time, you're not going to get another Van Dijk. Because it's just the law of averages. So there are very, 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 very few of them in the first place.
But I'll say this, right? I'll say this, and I'm going to throw this out to everybody, including Mo.
Yeah.
When we signed the likes of Van Dijk and Salah, when we signed them, did any of you think they're going to put the performances that they have?
No. You're right. That's true. But it doesn't matter because ultimately what you're comparing is their quality now. right? You have to. We can pull the rabbit out of a hat and find the next Van Dijk, but the odds of doing that are very, very, very low because he's that good.
And Rack, the part of the reason I'm so confident of being back there is because eventually, just like with Chelsea, who the reason you're starting to see the fruits of your labor is you bought a bunch of players, you've bought a bunch of expensive good players, and they're starting to come good. Like Caicedo is starting to look exactly like we all thought, the best DM in the league, but he didn't look like that when you first bought him. You're like, we did the Enzo thing. Didn't really, now starting to look a little better. But you know what I mean? You take as many shots as you can, and then you see what they turn into. Cole Palmer, no one fucking had any clue. No one knew he was going to be this good. We knew he was going to be good, but not in the conversation of best English player in the world. So that's why I think with United, if we now have at least because people are like, oh, Ineos are the Glazers. They're not. Like, I'm sorry. Their transfer business has already been worlds better than what we saw under just Ed Woodward and the Glazers. If you give them the amount of time, if they do build a new stadium, if they do all the things they're going to do and start building around, there's going to be some guys who come to United who we don't know when we buy them. Are they going to turn into that? But there's a chance that they will. So that's why I think with the money we have, if the structure's right, we might land. I already think Ahmad's going to turn into a really good player. I don't know what that looks like, but he's looking really good. So
can you define good like Salah level, Palmer level?
No. I think Ahmad will.
That's like saying that's like saying what, Ronaldo level.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to say that.
Palmer level, Palmer level, for example.
I'm saying he's going to be
Mane level, Mane level.
We could see him potentially hit Mane level, Firmino Mane levels. We could see him hit that level of like how good they are.
I prefer Saka level instead.
Mane level.
Saka level because he hasn't won anything. That's probably better. Saka level's probably better to say. You're right because he hasn't won anything.
You really think Amad Diallo can hit Saka's level of consistency for 3-4 seasons?
If we keep the same manager
at Man United, though. At Man United.
Man United. If you keep
right,
sure, yeah.
If
he goes to Chelsea and does it, Cam doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm not one of these guys. Exactly. I'm not going to be all like, "Oh, my Jadon Sancho." Like, I don't care. If he goes somewhere else, I don't want to be good. Like, I don't want to be.
It's like saying Mike's girlfriend. I'm really happy you're happy, but he goes somewhere else.
Are you watching YouTube, Rack, or not? Are you watching YouTube or not? There are streams for Man United content creators praising Jadon Sancho performance at Chelsea.
Oh my, okay.
I went out with that girl. I went out with that girl once.
Ahmad is a spicy nanny, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm cool. They're like, that was awesome. That was awesome. It was great. So yeah,
that's why I said this summer is. I thought we had to get rid of a lot of deadwood. There's like a whole frigging forest at Manchester United you've got to get rid of. Deadwood there.
This summer is going to be absolutely crazy. Yeah. It's going to be carnage.
They can't. I don't think they have the money though.
I'm just talking about the market. But I'm talking about the market in general. Yeah. City, I think City are going to spend 300 million plus, right? Depending on who they get in January.
How much are we spending, right?
I can see us spending significantly. I think we have to, man. We can't keep not spending. We haven't
58 quid. 58 quid. Couple of beers.
Arsenal didn't spend any money last summer. United, you would think they would try and bring in a few players to support Amorim's project. Maybe with ins and outs.
There'll be a bunch of young players who get a chance.
Arguably, I would think maybe Chelsea might be less active because they brought so many players in the past. But I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but maybe they bring in one or two key players.
I know the reality from this Man United team. I only see one player as title-winning material from the younger ones. Forget the Brunos. Kobe Menu. It's the only player at Man United that I think it's a title-winning material. Like, I see Man United maybe, as Cam said, even if 3-4 years lifting the title, I see the only one that I can picture is Kobe Meno. Everyone else is okay. Top four, good, top four.
The issue
I like him. No, I like Ahmad. My problem with Ahmad, sorry, Andrew. My problem with Ahmad is that Ahmad is so inexperienced for his age in the current era. Like the players at his age now are way more experienced than him. it's not his fault. He's so talented.
Really?
The problem with him, he wasn't given the chance
Went
at
on a
Man United
couple
to
loans.
play football at all. He wasn't
How
given
old
the
is that man?
chance.
22.
He's 22.
He plays like
everyone
what?
thinks he's
You know
17
what?
or 18.
People
Yeah.
think that I had an agenda when I said Amad Diallo at the age of 22 plays like a 19 years old or 18 years old.
But let's be honest.
Yeah.
Literally
27's
like
true.
that. Because
But-
he wasn't given a chance to even play football, bro.
25 and 26 isn't old anymore. 27 is not old.
It's not old.
Like he's got time as long as we keep the same manager and the same like he gets the same training from the right people. I can see him growing and becoming a much
Only if the team is good. And that is a
Also-
problem with Man
also,
United.
I think-
Only
I think,
if your team is good, if your team becomes good under Amorim and there's not a lot of pressure, a player like him can gain experience and can become good. If now, I'm seeing it with Kobe Mino today, guys. People are starting to shit on Kobe Mino's performances. Why are you
weird.
shit?
But
Why
you know
is
what?
shit?
I think Amorim has to
Drop
work
him.
out. I think
Bench
Amorim has
him.
to work out. I think Amorim has to work out Minu's proper
Thank
position in his
you.
formation.
That's why
In a
when I
pivot-
wasn't wrong when I
in
said
a
Mino
pivot
has to
with
go.
Bruno, no. In a pivot with Bruno, no. That pivot should never exist in football ever again. A Mino Bruno pivot. That should never ever happen again. But I don't know if he can play in the pivot in this type of system. I think he's better further ahead. But that's Amorim's deal to sort out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's gonna have to
I don't know. I don't know what Kobe Mino's future look, but I think Kobe Mino, if I'm next to him and advising him, I'm saying you're young, leave Man United now, go somewhere where he's already established. Well, I'm not joking.
You're telling this kid from Manchester.
Joel think I'm joking.
You're like the
Maybe he
shining
should join
light of the
Inter.
team.
You guys made me laugh as I'm trolling, and I wasn't actually. I wasn't.
Troll.
You think you should join Inter?
Wallahi, I'm not. No. If I'm not, if I'm next to him, I'm like, Mano, talk to your agent. Maybe go find a Real Madrid or a Barcelona or someone or Bayern. They need a midfielder. Vincent Company would cook with you in the midfield. Kimmich is getting older. They need a midfielder like you. They play position-based football. Go to Bayern, develop your career, win the league, win the Champions League, gain experience. Maybe later you can come back.
Why not
Because
Inter?
now in the current moment, he will be put under a lot of pressure he might not be able to deal with. His
Pressure
development
makes
mind
diamonds, man, or
stalled.
burst pipes. One of the two. He either's going to come through it on the right side of it, or he won't, and I'm okay with that. Like,
See, I'm not because I'm not a Man United fan. I want the kid to work. Like I want the kid to be good.
So you should
So
join
for
Inter.
me, I'm looking out for the kid. You're looking out for your club, which is fair enough. You're looking out for the club. I'm looking out for the kid.
I think-
Anyone that thinks a young player today should join Man United, I think if Man United are going to get Amorim players, the young players that are there established. Players that will take that system and try to implement it at 25, at 26 years old. I'm not saying 30s, 25, 26 years old, 27s. The 18s and the 19s, their development might stall. And it will not be on them. It will be on the pressure. The fans, when they start booing him and start criticizing him, that wouldn't go down well. That is my take
Well,
on.
can I say
Man United.
something on this game? Yeah, and it's gonna sound real shady, but I was glad that United lost the way they did, because a lot of these Player FC fans have really been getting on my nerves for quite a long time. Especially, for example, the players that are Player FC, apparently they were really crap today, like Joshua Zirkzee, which I've told so many United fans that he's dead food. He's not good. He's not. If you're telling me he's your starting striker, I am not concerned. I am not worried at all.
Well, he needs to go in January.
Like, bro, I told these United fans, I've
Terrible.
seen the guy play for Bayern. I've seen how he's 6'4". He looks like he's a pretty strong guy, but I've seen him get pushed over, bullied, everything. Ain't got no pace. He's got a decent touch, and he can't score goals. I don't understand why all these United fans, because he has technique, he has skills, he has a good touch, which I think, to be honest, he's a bit median that.
Bro,
I
the
don't understand why
guy's
they love this
allergic
guy
to
so
dribbling.
much.
He's allergic to dribbling. I don't listen. Maybe it's my lack of football knowledge. I don't know. But this whole world of like, oh, I love these one-touch ballers and tech. I'm like, he's doing nothing on the pitch. He gets the ball, he taps it once, he turns and runs. They're like, see, he looked for the give and go, give it back to him. It's like, or maybe next time, Xerxes, control the ball, take a look up, and make the right play. Not just like the same tap, lay off, and go, and then he's one of the more frustrating players for me on the team.
Yeah, what's happened to Dutch football, man?
Like
we'll see. But listen, I wanted to move on from Man United. I want going to Liverpool and how good were Liverpool today?
So good that that scoreline flattered Spurs.
Or was it only Spurs bad?
No.
A bit of both.
A bit of both.
A bit of both. Because I think Tottenham with that midfield should have done a lot better against ours. But they were really, really poor in multiple phases of the play. Don't take away from how well we played. We were still great. We were still really, really good. I think, to be honest, the scoreline should have been about 10 something.
That's what I'm saying. Because they were playing a high line against you when you were 4-1 up against them.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I stopped watching it 4-1.
Spurs were just poor. Spurs were just poor today. They were really, really bad. I think if we were a little bit more clinical, the full scoreline would have been a lot worse. But I think that midfield was poor. Defensively, they've been poor. The attack, look, the only good player in my opinion was Kulusevski. I think Kulusevski, if the guy was so one-footed, he would be an absolute problem for the entirety of the league. But I'm so grateful that he doesn't have a right foot to begin with. But when it comes to us, look, we made some really, really stupid errors that really, really ticked me off. We should have got a clean sheet today, in my opinion. I think the last 2 goals were really much us being on the beach, not really caring, knew that the game was done and everything. Execution-wise was pretty good. It could have been a lot better given the chances that we had. Szoboszlai, even though he had a great game, I'm still going to cuss him for that miss, costing Alisson an assist, in my opinion. But overall, decent performance from us. I don't think any player in that team had a bad game or a very glaringly bad game. Maybe the worst player was Gakpo, but even then he was okay. So overall, very, very happy. Very, very happy. And it's a good time it came because it's going to be a tough run of fixtures with all these fixture congestions and everything. We just need some good performances and good momentum going into this winter break, man. Really do.
Slot rotates well, though, doesn't he? He seems to.
He does. He's really good.
Happy to use the squad.
Yeah. He's really, really. I think the benefit is he has no relationship with any of these players, unlike Klopp. Klopp is all about sentimentality. Like this guy ran into the ground for me and everything. Slot's not like that. It's a clean slate for him. He sees every player like, oh, you're fighting for you.
Who's your man of the match? Forget Salah and G. Who's man of the match? For you, who's the best performer?
For me, if Szoboszlai scored that goal, that open goal,
you know, I chose Szoboszlai. I did the video. I chose Szoboszlai for me.
I would be Luis Diaz for me because Szoboszlai cost Alisson an assist. So I'm not happy with him. But
I thought Szoboszlai was fantastic.
No player you guys got that hurt my soul. It was Ryan Gravenberch, and everybody was dunking.
I'm glad Man United didn't sign him because you were in for him.
I wanted him so. I was begging, like he was on my FIFA team. I was begging for this guy when he became available. I knew we weren't going to be able to get him right off the bat because we bought all the other shitty Ajax players, and then they're like, "Oh, now we're not going to sell you this good one." And finally, he becomes available, and we're like, "Shit, we don't really have a lot of money left."
He'd be great for Bayern right now.
And we've already raced it. Yeah, and we already wasted. And he went to Bayern. He went to Bayern first, and then when he was coming, I'm like, "Oh my god, we have a chance. He can come. He's coming to England. We have a chance." But we had already blew our load on a bunch of bad players. But that's the player that I was like, out of all the Ajax players you bought.
But it's taken a season, right? If you would have asked us, if you asked me this time last season, I thought this Gravenberch money was a waste of time. I thought he may have been a Pep Linders signing. He wasn't going to work, and I think ultimately it's taken Slot to come in and reimagine how he can be deployed because he hasn't really played. I think he may have played this kind of central midfield role at the youth team level, but I don't think he played it for Ajax. And obviously he failed at Bayern. Failed. It didn't work. It didn't work out. Whatever. Either way, it didn't work out for him at Bayern. And so, maybe that's an argument for having a bit of patience as well with the players. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, we had the luxury to some extent to have patience with him because we did okay last season. But maybe we could have done even better if he was playing like this
I
last
think
season.
the credit has to go to Arne Slot. All the credit has to go to Arne
Yeah,
Slot
he
without a
moved
shadow of
into
a
a
doubt.
different
Ryan
position.
Gravenberch.
And the player, of course. The player.
Yeah, of course.
It's just like I look at a player like that, and it's like that's where we talk about the difference.
That's why Mina should leave.
But oh, geez.
Enter.
This is you don't sell your best players and get better. That's like
I don't care if you get better. You think I care?
I don't think you don't care, but the point is, you're talking about us being in this conversation in 3 years. I'm saying, well, Manu has to be there, and I think the club knows that. So it's like when you buy, like Liverpool didn't even spend that much on Gravenberch, and that's the thing where you can, if you just consistently go in the market and you're not a completely just terrible, structured and bad. If you're not Ed Woodward, I don't know how else to say it. Ed Woodward and the Glazers, and you get as many shots as we should have. We will start finding players that are good. Like it's just gonna happen. It's not. We spend too much money. The correlation to whether a player performs or not is how much they cost and how much they get paid on salary, typically, or the pedigree and teams they come from. West Ham and those teams they can't go shopping at Bayern and those places as much as we can. All of our clubs, we shop from a lot of those places, except for Chelsea when they had that run of like, you're Brazilian, cool, I'm gonna sign you. I don't know your name. I don't know where you're going to play, but I'm going to sign you. And it's going to work with one of them. There's one guy who I think will turn out well. And that's fine. That's this, you know what I mean? Caicedo, oh, you're looking like the best TDM. We're going to spend 100 million on you because it should work out because you're that good. Like you need the bullets.
I will say this though. I think Gravenberch and Caicedo are working out well because they're being coached by modern day coaches who are willing to adapt and evolve their coaching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's why I said so. I'm not really going to crap on most of the Man United players because I can't be a hypocrite when I said last season what I needed was a modern day coach to see if these players are good or not. And I need to see it. I need to give Amorim time with some of these Man United players to see how good they are before writing them off. And Gravenberch, this time last year, dud. Absolute dud. Even the most vehement.
I wouldn't go that far. Not
okay.
At the start, he was very good. At the start, he was very good.
But you wouldn't have. What I'm saying is that no one envisioned Slot to do this with Gravenberch. You were all thinking buy a midfielder to complement McAllister. You don't want to play Endo for a long time. You know what I mean? But that's testament to Slot. He's a modern day coach. He wasn't given anything. Remember, he's not signed anyone. Don't give me Chiesa. Chiesa basically may not be there.
Yeah, bro.
It's a waste of 10 million to spend on Chiesa. He's not going to do anything for Liverpool. But Gravenberch is a compliment to, of Slot's coaching and the way he's able, because Rack said adjusted, but he's adjusted again to a new position. It's not even just like giving him a year to settle into the country. He's adjusted again. And he's been absolutely flawless. Caicedo, I will say is the best midfielder because I'm biased as Chelsea fan, but Gravenberch is way up there with him as terms of as the two best midfielders in this season by far. By far.
So, I mean, Caicedo had a bit of a shocker of a start, right? And he started coming good towards the end of last season.
His debut gave away a penalty.
To come from that kind of pressure, and obviously Chelsea as a team weren't playing well at the start of last season either. So it's difficult when you have trying to integrate so many players, establish a style of play, results aren't going for you. You've got several things to come up against.
Luke, guys, we listen to Luke here and hit the like button, guys. We got about 500 people here. Let's get to 200 likes, people. Hit that like button in this late show. Listen, I've been sitting on the same chair for about 5 hours now, 4 hours. As an Arsenal fan, we haven't replaced Henry yet. Well, you're not going to replace Henry.
That was the point I made.
2007.
Mate, you haven't replaced Henry. You haven't replaced Vieira. You haven't replaced Sol. Well, maybe Sol Campbell.
Can I just say something? Arsenal haven't replaced anyone. They haven't won a major trophy since 2004. So that, by definition, is they haven't replaced anyone.
I will want to say though, Mo, before we move on to the next segment, I want to.
Salah. We have to speak about Mohamed Salah being the best player ever in the Premier League.
We'll get to Salah. Salah deserves a long thing, but I just want to quickly say, I think I have to give a lot of credit to Szoboszlai for the last couple of weeks. Obviously, the start of the season been getting a lot of stick, but now he's really changed his form and it's becoming a really, really promising player that we saw in the first couple of weeks of when he first joined. I think not many people are really giving him his flowers for the last couple of weeks. I think he was really unlucky not getting an assist against Fulham, but man of the match performance today, and I'm just hoping it continues now.
He didn't get man of the match, of course, because Mohamed Salah got.
No, Luis Diaz
got
got man of the
Sky,
match.
Sky gave it to Diaz. Sky gave it
Really?
to Diaz.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
gave it to
Diaz.
Diaz, yeah.
You know, if you look at Liverpool's stats this season, guys, in the Premier League, it's absolutely nuts. GA, guys, I'm talking GA. Mohamed Salah, 26. The next one, 9. And then the next one, 5, 4, 4, 4.
But that's like, remember Haaland? It's like Man City with Haaland. It's like
Yeah.
Haaland's way up there, and the next one's like way
No,
below.
that was
It's
like Bruno's
that.
first year with us. It was like
Right.
if Bruno didn't score a goal, we didn't score.
Kick him out of the stream. He said Bruno and Mohamed Salah in the same
No,
sentence.
I'm just saying the numbers. That number was
Okay.
comparable. The gap.
Don't like the stats, you fraud. Don't
All
try to
right,
fix
all right.
Not comparing those two players. I love Bruno. I'm not going to do that.
People are like say the outrageous thing. When I said that Mohamed Salah, if he wins the Premier League or the Champions League this season with these numbers, he passed Henry today in terms of GA.
Right.
That means he's going to leave Liverpool, same amount of, if he leaves Liverpool, same amount of seasons with more major trophies, which is the Champions League or the Premier
League. He would
League.
have done it more consistently over a period of time. I think a conversation.
I looked at Henry's number. Henry was very consistent.
No,
Henry
what I'm
was
saying,
very-
he's done it maybe a season longer. Henry, he had a slow start, 99, because Wenger played him on the left. Had a slow start, then he blossomed. Then I don't really count the first season at the Emirates. That was his last season. He didn't really want to be there anymore. So, but Mo Salah, I think whether you agree or not, what I hate is when people automatically dismiss the conversation to begin with.
That's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand.
This league is over 30. This league is over 30 years old. I can't have a player that left like nearly 18 years ago be the best ever when there's Cristiano Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or.
I still think that Henry is the best in the league for other things as well.
I think
the way he played, the way he carried Arsenal, everything.
Yeah,
before we go to the Salah conversation, Jay here is saying what Gravenberch is doing with the ball is not surprising to see because he was good with the ball under Klopp. His defensive play is what is crazy to me.
That's also very true because when we did try him at DM at one point, but he was getting ran ragged. And I think the way that Klopp wanted his DM was very similar to what Fabinho is, and he's just not Fabinho. He's a completely different player to Fabinho. He's more of a guy.
I think it's not as highlighted as much because he's sort of like your season whimpered out a bit, whereas now it's
I'm saying because we tried him out in DM a couple of times.
No, I'm just talking about his performances. His performances because you guys whimpered out basically at the end of last season. You know. Now it's more highlighted because.
Thank you, Jay. Really appreciate the super chat. Let me answer a couple of questions from these guys. There is no conversation for real football watchers. All right, MK. There is no conversation whatsoever in the history of the Premier League between any player and Adel Taarabt. No one comes close to Adel Taarabt in ability. No one, by the way. I have not seen a player that comes close to Adel Taarabt in terms of ability. Okay, he's the best player ever.
The problem is, and I always have this conversation, is what do you mean by a great, a better footballer? Because most of the time when people are talking about, so-and-so is a better footballer, they're talking about their technique, right? They're talking about the technical side of the game, when the reality is that the technical side of the game is only one aspect of the game. Technical, tactical, physical, and mental. Those are the 4 aspects of a player. It's not just across football. It's broken down in many sports. Those are the 4 facets and unfortunately, when you're only looking at one of them, then fine. You can say that Adel Taarabt is the best technician, but was he physically? Was he the best? Was he as strong? Was he as fast? Was he? Did he have as much upper body strength? Was he as fit? As fitness counts as the physical aspect, right? Tactically, could he play? Did he understand how to play in different positions? Technically, all these other aspects need to come into it. Don't get me wrong.
That's why Neymar's got all of those things, but he won't go down as greatest of all time because of what you said takes him out. Fitness and other things like that.
Let me. Someone said define major trophy for Mo. That's only footy judge Mo. I don't speak for the rest of the panel. A major trophy for me is your league title or the Champions League. All right, this is my definition, right? For a major trophy. I don't count the cups, super cups, Mickey Mouse cups. I'm not Arteta. I don't count charity shields. I don't do that.
You know, that's a little European.
Europa League is all right, but it's not. For me, it's not like fantastic. He's asking me, Mo, so why do you think Henry is better? Because at the current moment, Henry won the league title twice. I think Henry was overall more effective for Arsenal. But all I'm saying, if Salah continues in this trajectory and get this season 40 GA and Liverpool win the league, that is the definition of Mohamed Salah winning the league for Liverpool.
If you ask me, then I would also say Henry. But what the issue that I have, and probably a lot of, I think I'd speak for a few Liverpool fans, when you totally dismiss anybody else and say Henry, and like Surfer said, there's a conversation. If you're not willing to have a conversation, then you always have to. Whenever you have these elite, these GOATs, these best players, these top level players, you can put them on a pedestal, but you should never put them on a pedestal to the point where you don't ever think they can be surpassed, right?
But all of us agree here that Salah is better than Hazard. Right, like all of us they're not.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
like we all agree, right?
Yeah,
Like,
if we're not talking about
all agree.
No, because you guys won't get it. I'm a big Chelsea fan of pre-Roman. I love Eden Hazard. He's not, I don't think Eden Hazard's better than Gianfranco Zola for me, but that's a generational thing.
Oh.
Salah is better than Hazard.
It's just, I think that the conversation always gets lost in how guys look on the ball too, and the tech and the pretty, and that's not really. Salah does not really look. Like, he doesn't look great. Like, he's more of a just a hard-nosed footballer who just does the job and doesn't look amazing doing it, but he does things that are amazing where you're like, ooh, that was nice. But it's just for whatever reason, he doesn't look super pretty doing it. And I think that's okay. I think that's fine. Like, you at the end of the day, you scoring goals, getting assists is like, scoring goals is the hardest thing to do. And he does it without issue. He makes it look, the thing is, he makes it look easy. That's where you get to a problem. When a player like Salah scores goals now, you're like, oh, he made something that was very difficult look really
Cam,
easy.
you know what he's done though, Cam?
And also,
no one gives him credit enough. He's evolved his game into more of an all-rounder, an assister. That pass for Sosa, is it Sosa by the third goal, or is it the second? I can't remember. When he went to the left of the Spurs pitch and cut inside like that. Not many players can do that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The awareness to do that. He's an all-rounder now. He's an all-round player.
One thing I do think about these types of conversations, they do always focus on not just attacking players. They always focus on forwards, which I think is a little bit unfair, because I think in the you got to take the individual roles into account. I think Van Dijk, for example, is as good a player for what he does as Mo Salah, for example. So.
Right.
But obviously he's not. He's a defender, so it's not really the same thing. And FC in the chat said something. Why isn't KDB? There he is. He mentions KDB. KDB again. I agree.
He's in the conversation.
He's in the
conversation.
conversation.
Man City. That's why he's never in the convo. I'm not joking. Because he plays for Man City, he's never in the convo.
If KDB played for Manchester United, he would be considered like the greatest player of all. Like, it would be Liverpool. Like, he would be considered the greatest player ever. He would be. It's
I mean, KDB. What makes you laugh? A side note, KDB is when they try and put Yaya Toure as one of the greatest midfielders in Premier League history. It's just not true.
I actually think Toure is the most complete midfielder I've seen in the Premier League, but that's
not true.
Nah,
he had one decent season. He had one very good season.
One amazing season.
One amazing season. One of the best individual seasons ever in 13-14. He was good for the beginning and the end of 11 and 12. The rest, no.
AMT saying my chat about Henry, it could happen to Liverpool when Salah leaves in the future. Very
okay.
Need to let it simmer. Basically, to let it simmer.
Let it marinate. Let it
marinate.
I don't think they're gonna get another Salah. I think actually Liverpool. Okay, to be honest with you, I agree with Rak, and I said that earlier. I think when Van Dijk leaves, because I consider him the best defender ever in the history of the Premier League, there won't be anyone to replace him. Because the way Van Dijk allows your rest of the team, the other 10 players to play, is something that is so unique. He doesn't need a specific partner to play next to him. He doesn't need a specific center back or a left back or a right back. The way he allowed Liverpool, if people watch Liverpool in the 17-18 season, the first half of the 17-18 season is completely different to when he arrived in the second half of the season. The way the line just suddenly moved up 15 yards, the way the forwards were closer to the goal, the midfielders are closer. Everyone now is allowed more space because of Van Dijk being there. People don't appreciate that. People don't know that. And I think it is very hard to find a Van Dijk. in the
It would
history of
depend. It would,
It's-
I think
it's
the only
impossible,
way where
actually.
the only
Think of
way we
like-
don't miss him is if his partner steps up, as in like he becomes world class himself.
It's impossible. Konate will never be Van Dijk.
This
Never-
is
impossible.
not. Yeah.
No, because the only way
The
you can,
way
the only
Van
way you
Dijk
can-
reads the game, the way Van Dijk moves the players like pawns on the pitch, it is impossible.
I think
to
the
do.
guys you can put in the same conversation are like the Cannavaros, the Vidic, it's like the Vidic.
John Terry used
John
to be the
Terry, like,
leader.
There's
John
a few
But I'm
guys.
going to tell you the difference
his
between Van
name?
Dijk and John Terry. Van Dijk
it's
has,
fast.
yes,
It's
he has
fast.
a, he has a
Terry was
recovering
faster up
speed.
there. That's why he hardly
Yes.
got caught out.
Terry used to
That's
read
right.
the game very well.
Yeah.
I think Van Dijk is better than John Terry, in my opinion. But it's a conversation. Because I think individually, Van Dijk by himself equals 1.5 player or 2 players. By
think
himself.
he was-
You know, the unique thing about Van Dijk, right, is Van Dijk has been partnered with Dejan Lovren, with Joel Matip, with Joe
Don't do that.
Gomez,
Don't do that.
with Konate, all these guys, right? And his level doesn't drop. Like, look, I'm not going to mention any people's names, but if you look at who some of these other centre backs who there's a particular partnership which is really strong, but when they play sometimes with other players, they're not the same. It's not the same.
I love Matt.
And
But you can't put that on the guys who.
No, but Matip, when Matip played with Lovren, when Matip played with Gomez, they were both terrible. They were shit.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
the Ram. Gomez played with Matip. Gomez played with Lovren. Matip played with Lovren. They were all terrible.
You put Van Dijk in, everyone looks good. Everyone is like, oh, wow, I'm a defender now. And
I would
you know
say,
why?
you know,
because Van Dijk, even at 33 years old, he got your ass covered all the time. You got your ass covered. You can make a mistake. You can be rash.
Yeah,
I got you covered.
I think what you said, Mo.
he's
I
not
think
big
what-
for nothing.
I think what
That
you
guy
said,
knows
Mo,
that guy's
about,
size is. That guy's size is. So here's the thing. Go back to what Rack said. When you put in all the attributes of tech, whatever, you can't. Like his size can't be replicated.
Take his size away.
Yeah.
Like, but that's part of his game. It's part of who he is.
He knows
But
how
I
to
think
use
Kyle
it.
Walker's
No.
speed. It's Kyle
Mo, I
Walker is
think what
good.
you said, Mo, about Van Dijk is similar to Terry, because Terry played with a lot of partners during at Chelsea, but he made them better as well. So it's like it's pretty. He's in the conversation. I'm not, as top. That's the problem though. Defenders never get any credit. It's always about the attacking. They're always like the second page when you talk about greatest players of all time and stuff like that. So
What's interesting is that I feel as though how old is Van Dijk? 33, 34?
33.
33.
This was the time where I think, if I remember, John Terry was slowly starting to fade. I think it was the season before he won the league with Chelsea. I believe he turned 33, didn't he? And that was when
he played every single minute of that.
Is that the
league
Mourinho
season.
or the Conte game?
The
Conte season.
Mourinho, because
Mourinho's second
Conte didn't
season.
use him. Conte didn't.
Conte
use him.
didn't use him. He said, yeah, he
Nah.
just for some reason.
No, but
and
on that season
Ferdinand-
of Mourinho, he played every single game, every single minute of the league season. He played that.
Guys, all I'm going to tell you is that if Man City had Virgil van Dijk, we would have won 3 Champions Leagues by now. I'm just telling you that for a fact.
What are we saying? Double trebles, 1 quadruple?
Broski, 2 triples by now. This
Quadruple,
guy,
definitely.
people don't, only people that played football know what a defender like this will do, not only to your partner, it will do to a forward, a winger, a midfielder. You look back, you see that guy reading the game. I said that before. He's so proactive to the point that he prevents the pass. He doesn't only read the pass and go intercept. I saw it with my eyes many times. He prevents the player that is playing the pass from playing the pass because he's standing in the right space with the right distance to the forward. The defender or the midfielder from the opposition knows that if I play this ball, Van Dijk is quicker to the ball. I'm going to turn and pass back.
Mo, you know what would happen
It's
also?
crazy,
You know,
actually.
if they had Van Dijk right now, they wouldn't be losing as much as they are.
100%. People underestimate Van Dijk. And that's why I say replacing Van Dijk is actually tougher than replacing Salah. Because I think Liverpool can replace Salah collectively. Yeah, go get like 3 forwards. Go get Isak tomorrow, okay, and get a right winger. And now Liverpool forward might score the same amount of goals. They might score the same amount of goals. Not one of them will score, but they might score the same amount of goals. So collectively, the problem with Van Dijk is that I think a defender like this, same as John Terry, changes the way you play football, changes the way a coach approaches a game.
Yeah, and this goes back to my whole thing when we talk about who's going to be in the conversation in 3-4 years. Like Liverpool's going to have work to do. They should be there, but they're going to have huge work to do. They're going to have a shit like, and it won't be by any fault of theirs. It's like you're going to go from having 2 generational lifetime players to, oh shit, we don't. Now we got to make sure we find players who collectively can replace them, because you
a partnership they can. Like Arsenal did find Gabriel and Saliba. They can find a partnership.
You have to find that partnership. You have to find those 3 players. And if you miss on 2 of 3 of them, all of a sudden you're going to look real shit.
Yeah, it goes down. It keeps going down. Yeah.
You need to find a whole back 4 at this rate, man.
And that's where I say the only way to sort of like replace Van Dijk is for the other centre back, whether it be Kanai, whoever it is, that not only the replacement centre back has to come in and do well, the other centre back has to sort of step up and do similar to what Van Dijk used to do on the pitch.
I agree. I'm saying people will always underestimate Salah, best 1 season wonder. Until this moment, some people say it's 1 season wonder, bro. Until now, people say that, bro. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, so tweet about this shit, bro.
You have conversations with some people, because that means you're not being objective. And this is like my biggest thing. And Ram, you've known me for years now, and I'm always about being objective. Like at the end of the day, banter's fun. And yes, I will banter Arsenal if we win Europa and they don't win anything. You best believe I'm going to talk that shit, because I still want a trophy. But I'm not going to sit there and say we're closer to winning the league or we're a better team. I'm just going to say, hey, at the end of the day, put your medals on the table. We put one on the table this year, because I get to. But there has to be some objectiveness. Even though I fucking hate Liverpool, I can't sit there and be like, oh, well, you know, fucking.
I think if a conversation starts with, that goes, oh, is Salah really that good? I just get white noise, so I just like tune out. I just go,
of course he is.
I'll be like,
someone asking me, do you think Salah is gonna break the assist record? He has 11 assists.
12.
No,
It's got 12.
he has 11 assists and 15 goals.
No, he's got 12. No, he's got 12.
When is that?
14.
Real quick,
14 goals and 12 assists.
I want to go to Chelsea a little bit, guys.
But real quick, because I got
11.
And I don't want to get into the Chelsea conversation.
Go on, Cam.
But real quick, there's this comment. Salah called, but if you take away the GA, how does he affect the game? That if you take away, what do you mean take away? I'm not taking away this man's goals and assists. That's how he impacts the game, yo. Like,
take away goals and assists, we don't win trophies, man. What are we doing here?
Bro, like I get it. Like you're asking a question, but you can't have a conversation and say, let me take away what makes this player great. Like, let me take away Kyle Walker's speed. Let me take away Haaland's goals. You take away Haaland's goals. Who's Haaland?
Cam, that's the same type of guy who will say, but that guy scored 8 non-penalty goals against your guy.
Hold off the Kyle Walker pace thing. That's my agenda.
If you take away his penalties, well, everyone's talking about Cole Palmer hitting 11 straight this year. No one's saying anything about that. Like, you can't take these things away from these players. It's what makes them great. Anyway, my fault.
Jay saying, for the fans who want Trent to go, think again, please. Jay, I saw a whole stream that ran on Husam's channel the other day with 6 Liverpool supporters, and they were just talking shit about Trent. And with their leader was Mike Dass.
Not me.
Their leader
Who the guys? I
wasn't there. If
Was
I
it
was
Mike?
there, then I wasn't talking shit about Trent.
No, was it Mike?
And look,
Mike started. No, they weren't talking shit. Let me just address. Let me just say the reality. That was bad. But the reality is, I'm telling you what is going on in the fan base. In my opinion, looking from outside, watching the stream, Rack, it looked like over-analyzing Trent to make people sleep well at night. That makes it over-analyzing every single point to say, yeah, we'll be okay if he leaves. We'll get this guy. And it's not shitting on him. You know, when people do this, it's unintentional thing. When you start feeling that this guy's going, you start saying, yeah, we'll be okay. He's not that good at this. He's not great. We'll be all right. And I think that is what is going on now. People are starting to live with themselves, starting over-analyzing what he does to say, yeah, it's all right to replace him. Go ahead, Rah.
I got to head out, boys. I'll say this. Ask me about Jadon Sancho in 6 months.
Yeah.
Jen
Go
is
ahead.
got a Jen, man. Rack.
Right.
What was I going to say? So about Trent, look, all fan bases do this. I said I was on that stream. I said at the time, as long as Trent is at the club, he should remain our right back. As long as he's playing at a very high level, what Trent does and what Trent gives you is irreplaceable. Now I understand if you maybe look at what's it called, Bradley and all this kind of stuff. Maybe he's more of a conventional right back, and maybe that's what Klopp wants. But Trent is such an ace that you can't afford to get rid of him if he wants to stay. The thing is, fan bases will do this. I remember when we had Raheem Sterling, and Raheem Sterling was getting lined up to leave, right? And Liverpool fans, and he was looking for a way out, and he was angling, trying to get away to Manchester City. And Liverpool fans and all fan bases do this. They turned around, they said, "Don't worry about Raheem Sterling. We've got Jordan Ibe. Jordan Ibe's going to come in," and Jordan Ibe just started to cut. And what happened to Jordan Ibe? Right.
Coutinho.
So we look at these young. I also said this after the Carabao Cup final last year. You can't put too much pressure and have massive expectations for most of these young players, because most of these young players aren't going to make it. When we beat Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final, I was really happy. I was really happy because we beat Chelsea, but B, I was really happy for most of those young players, because I said at the time, most of these guys won't have a career at Liverpool. Most of these guys won't be good enough for Liverpool. So at least at this early stage in the career, they've got a trophy, right? What happened? We sold a load of them in the summer, and a few of the other ones have gone on loan, right? Even Battered, who our fan base bigged up because he played a couple of seasons ago when we had this injury crisis. I know you you were like bigging up Battered as well and all this kind of stuff, but ultimately, I don't know whether he's ultimately going to be good enough for Liverpool Football Club. He's gone away to RB Salzburg, and he's had a bit of a shocker from what I understand. So
Worse than
It's
that.
racks.
They won
It's
him
the
well.
old. It's the old. Oh, we'll just get someone for the academy. What do you mean? What do you mean? The academy's not golden, or else Liverpool. Most clubs wouldn't spend money because they'll just rotate them through the academy.
I think because our academy, I'll put Man United in this boat as well, because our academy's history of creating players. Like, I remember we had a class with McManaman, Owen. I think our fans sort of expect us to recreate those players, and amount of money that we put into the academy and everything. Everyone started putting those expectations on these players.
But Rams, your academy, modern day academy history has nothing about bringing you guys through apart from Trent. Trent's a generational talent.
There's a reason behind that. There is a reason behind that.
Oh, you say that.
But my expectations for our academy is, I think if an academy produces good squad players, I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
right.
That's me.
I'm not looking for every year our academy to turn out a world-class player.
Right.
I think if we get a Curtis Jones every 2 seasons, right, or a Conor Bradley or someone like that every couple of seasons, I'm fine with that, because these guys will come in. They're just like Man United back in the day. You had a Wes Brown, you had a John O'Shea or whatever. They came in, they supplemented the world-class players they already had. I'm cool with that. I don't have massive expectations. Then you supplement that with, maybe once every 5 years you produce a world-class talent. Once every 4 years, produce a world-class talent, and then you supplement it with, good player trading elsewhere. I think that's much more realistic than expecting us to kind of fill our team with homegrown players. That very rarely ever happens.
Can I present an argument? I wanted to present the argument on the show that you guys did. Of course, this was a Liverpool panel, and there was no place for me. But I actually think it's on Arne's slot to get that. If you call him a generational talent that can produce what he did today, it was on Arne's slot to get the best out of him, not him to adapt to Arne Slot's system. If Arne Slot wants a conventional right back, he's wrong. He's wrong, right? If you have a player like this, if you have a very talented right back that is once in a generation, he's not great in positioning in defense, and he's not fantastic in his defending, and he's not great in sprinting. It is on you. If he's an average right back, I would say yes. But if you call him generational and you have seen what he can do over the years for Liverpool, it is on the manager to unlock this potential. Why? For 2 reasons. Number one, you know that the talent is there. Number two, he is the youngest out of your world-class players. So if you are able to unlock this, you can build on this for 3, 5, 4 more years. And instead of you, yes, Salah, Van Dijk, of course, you can do that. You have to unlock that. It's if you got a kid that is once in a generation, it is on you to send him to the right school to unlock his potential. It is not on him to adapt to the normal school. And I wanted to say this because Mike, with all due respect to Mike, Mike is a friend. Mike kept saying, yeah, Arne Slot wants Conor Bradley can do the job because he's more balanced. He can go forward and it's also, no, it's wrong. You have a generational talent on your hand. Yes, he can defend as good as you want him to be, but he's exceptional going forward. You might not ever find the right back that has this ability to deliver passes from deep or crosses like that. It is on the manager to get him in the right places. It's not on the player to adapt. He was born with this natural ability. You can teach him to defend better here and there, but come on. This is why I didn't like the conversation, Rack. I was like, conversation is wrong.
It's the thing though with Trent though, this season, and you notice it, Liverpool don't go through Trent as much as they do with Klopp over the years. And also, he's arguably been a better defender than any time under, consistent better defender. Remember, we always used to joke, Trent's greatest enemy was the back post. We always used to joke, we always joked about that, he'd get caught or something like that. He's been better defensively. Today was probably one of the few games where, because of the opposition they were playing, they were so open that Trent was allowed to be more attacking than he has done previously in the months this season. Last year, or a few seasons under Klopp, he was like the main creator. Now he's being asked to do it.
Be the main creator, guys. He doesn't have to be the main creator, but
no, that's what I mean. His role's been changed.
Potential.
Changed his role.
How many people get a potential right back that can make you an assist or a key pass or a couple of key passes every single game? If you get him in the right place, every single game, he will make that key pass or 2 key passes. Some fullbacks go whole season with like 2, 3 assists.
He's been asked to do a different role this season, though. He's been asked to be more defensive than creative. You know what I mean?
That's wrong. That's what I mean. Because Liverpool are top, people are afraid to say this. Oh, yeah, we're playing good football, we're winning. What if you can be better? What if you can unlock this right back and be better then?
You can.
But that's why this conversation, that's why I don't like this conversation about Trent. Oh, by the way, maybe it's okay. He doesn't suit Arne Slot's system. Who gives the fuck?
That's Mike. He's a Nunes lover. What do you expect?
It's not only Mike, bro. It's not only Mike. You know that.
Nah, but it's because I think people have started to realize that the possibility of him moving to Madrid can be reality. That they've already started to cope. Copium has hit them.
Really separation. That's what they've.
It's very strong. Mo GA. By the way, guys, Mohamed Salah, I think he's the best player in the history of the Premier League to score against the other top 5 clubs. Actually,
he is.
Actually, I just checked something. He actually played less games for Liverpool than Henry played for Arsenal, and he scored more goals and more assists. By the way,
and arguably Henry had
one of them played 377. Mohamed Salah played 373. 1 goal more, 229, and 10 more assists. Just let that sink in. One season wonder.
Wouldn't you say Henry had a better support cast as well than Mo's over the years?
I don't know. It's the same.
Very questionable. No, I would say when I watched, because I started watching on Henry's prime, Arsenal, the Premier League. Henry was fucking ridiculous.
I'm not doubting. I'm just not doubting. No, this isn't taking anything from Henry. I'm just saying.
I have to say, I actually started watching the Premier League because of Henry's performances at Arsenal. Actually.
Oh. I'm still adamant to this day that Arsenal 01-02 team with double team is the best football I've seen in the Premier League.
The 02, right? Yes.
01-02. Oh, not the
Invincibles. The other season when they won the league.
Yeah,
he was crazy actually.
He was awesome. That was 4-4-2 era as well. That was 4-4-2 era as well. Not like it is now. So it's like
Thierry Henry. Yeah, people would say, Mo, you might have been an Arsenal. Actually, no. If I wasn't an Inter fan, might have been a Chelsea fan, actually. Might. It's in between.
Mourinho.
Yes.
Yeah, of course it is.
Bro, the guy has balls, bro. Like, coming to the Premier League with Arsene Wenger and Sir Axel and tell them I'm the special one, bro. have to love the guy, to be
He
honest.
got
Mourinho,
Champions
mate.
League. He has every right to do it.
Bro,
Yeah,
the
every
guy.
Mo, why did you start supporting Inter? What was the reason?
1998, Djorkaeff, Zamorano, Ronaldo,
Taribo
Baggio,
West.
Taribo West.
Basically, one of the best centre backs. He was like, "Yep, Inter's my team."
Like Luca, yeah.
And also, it was only, I think at that time, there was only Italian football available on TV, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
But
yeah.
that was also peak Italian football.
Yeah, there was only
between
Italian
up
football
until
available.
1990, so 2007. That's when Italian football started going down. I'd say when Milan won the Champions League that year
Yes.
against us in the final. After that, I know Inter obviously made the treble of in 2010, 2011, whenever it was.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like the Italian football was already going down a little bit before then. Up until
Basically,
then,
when La Liga football
had
was
the
accessible in the UK.
No, but I think it was the financial muscle, right? But before
Yeah.
you had the Agnelli family, you had Moratti, you had Berlusconi. All these guys were funding the growth of Italian football. That's when I lived in Italy. So the owners of the football clubs were just as big personalities as the players, as the thing. And it was like whole families, like the Agnelli family. They owned Fiat, right? They owned Ferrari. They owned Pininfarina. All these like other companies that are around it, big industrial moguls. Berlusconi owned I can't remember a load of TV channels and stuff like that. Yeah, he was a media mogul. Yeah. Obviously became prime minister. So. And after but the thing is, there's only so much that any single individual can fund a football club, and the Italian economy started.
Serie A was like the first like league where they did proper big money transfers back in the late 80s. Like compared to the UK, Spain, everything, it was just the first.
I don't want to keep the guys for long. There's not a lot of talk about Chelsea, to be honest. 0-0. They're out of the title race.
Screw you. You had one job. One job.
They're out of the title race. Guys, can I ask people something in the chat? We're 20 likes away from 200 likes. Guys, the like button underneath the live chat. 20 likes away from 200, guys. Hit that like button. I was going to talk about Chelsea. There's nothing. If anything you want to say, Andrew.
I did say all week. I've been saying it all week that we do. I don't know what it is, but we go up there and we just don't. But I know what you heard me say on the terrace, Mo. His selection for me was wrong. He should have played Gusto on the right instead of Tassasi because Neto had no. Everyone's getting on Neto. He had no support today on that right hand side. Tassasi wasn't going to overlap or anything. He's a centre back. I would have played Vega at left back, invert, and the substitutions. I would have taken Sancho and Palmer off because they were poor. I would have moved Neto to the left, Madueke to the right, and played Felix in there. But the draw's the fair result. Sanchez made a very good save, I think, against is it Harrison or something like that. So we didn't do enough.
Adebayo played well as well.
Mo, we're playing a low block. Why are we passing too slow? It just lets them get in position.
Yeah, it was too slow.
It's bad. It's mad. It doesn't make any sense. Against a low block, you want to play some fast passing so they don't have time to settle, or if they go out of their places. You know what I mean? We didn't do enough. And, Liverpool capitalised. And someone went to me, oh, yeah, but maybe Spurs could do something. I just didn't even answer him because if you're relying on Spurs to do something, you're just mad. I mean, just honestly, it's ridiculous. Yeah, we missed it. I'm not angry. I'm frustrated because I think we missed an opportunity there. Because I think if we played our normal football, I think we could have easily unlocked Everton in the end, and even if it's just a 1-0, just get the result. And yeah, I've got to put it on Maresca as much. He needed, and his subs were too late as well. It was like the 76th minute or something like that. I would have changed it on the hour. I would have changed it on the hour because it wasn't working. Nothing was working. That second half, we didn't do anything really. I can't remember Pickford making a save in the second half from us, really.
And can I say one thing on Pickford before you come in, right? Jordan Pickford is one of the dirtiest players the Premier League has ever seen.
Oh yeah.
He was gonna do the same thing he did for Van Dijk again to Madueke or Neto today, when he's going full studs on, knowing exactly what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's carrying the player with that tackle, and he's going in. And even the commentators are like, someone has to stop this. By the way, I said that Jordan Pickford needs to be stopped. Someone is gonna get hurt really bad, as Van Dijk was hurt, and for a dead ball, he was going. And I have never seen a goalkeeper that goes with both feet up instead of going with hand to make your body bigger. That's what they teach goalkeepers. He is going full on to hurt the player. I'm going to take the ball and take out the player. This should not be acceptable.
You know, he did something else as well. There was a thing with Colwell in the first half.
And then why is he hitting Colwell with the elbow? Why are you doing that, bro? Why are you doing this?
No, did you see him? He came out flying, jumping knee. His knee was jumping.
I'm like, what are you doing? Why?
There was also a little turn as well.
The elbow, the elbow. I'm like, and I think Jordan Pickford is being protected, and I'm gonna say it because he is the England #1 goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's always the same. Yeah.
He's being protected by the media, and no one is speaking about it as much as Harry Kane was not being talked about when he used to do the bridge for players to fall on their necks, right, and on their backs because Harry Kane is the England jewel in attack, and Jordan Pickford is England goalkeeper. Today, Jordan Pickford could have broken the guy's leg in half with that jumping tackle.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
And
I
said that many times. And today it was the perfect example of how a goalkeeper can shithouse their way into breaking someone's leg. And it's annoying.
Yeah. He's just one of those horrible. He's got a face you want to punch, as I like to say. Do you know what I mean? He's just one of those.
T-Rex
He's one of those guys.
I don't know if you guys saw the tackle today. It was horrific. What are you doing, bro?
It was terrible. It was terrible. He's a dirty player. I think Chelsea, they had a couple of good opportunities, a couple of good openings. I remember Jackson managed to hit Pickford.
Yes, behind him. That was the most difficult bit. Yeah, it was like we didn't do enough. The fair result. We didn't do enough.
Yeah. I think these things happen, and sometimes you have the whole goal to aim at, and you just manage to aim it at the goalkeeper when it's coming too fast. You haven't got time to place it, so I'm not going to put too much blame on Jackson's shoulders there. But there was a couple of kind of near potential opportunities which Chelsea didn't take up, and I think that's ultimately what cost them. But you know what? Everton are proving to be also a difficult team to play against, especially at Goodison.
I think they'll get a point against City. I think they'll get a point against City. I think they'll get a point against City.
Bro, I mean, they could. Anyone who's predicting City games right now,
it's
crazy.
I think they'll get a point. Also, can I just shout out that tossing block in the second half as well? That was very good. He's actually stepped in and played very well the last few games.
He stepped up, Dawson.
Yeah, he stepped up when we needed him to. So, but
9 likes away to 200 people. Last super chat before we end the show. Mo, do you think if Lisandro Martinez had come to Arsenal as a left wing back,
what?
No,
he will do better? Because he's terrible center back at Man United. Okay, AMT, I'm just gonna say something. You actually don't have wing backs at Arsenal. You play 4 at the back.
I don't understand. It's a funny question. It's a weird question. How did that? They don't play wing back, so.
And I think Lisandro Martinez is good in a back 3 when the wing backs can cover. I think he's a good player. I think his aggression gets the best of him many times. He's rash. And he's as well a dirty player who leaves a stud up to hurt the opposition, knowingly exactly what he's doing.
He jumped with 2 foot. He jumped with
another guy that people that played football know exactly that. He knew exactly what he's doing, leaving the stud up or jumping. He knows what he's doing, but they do it unintentionally because that's just how they do it. Because
Mo, can I also say, Mo, with the Chelsea thing, stop inverting Gusto. He cannot do the job. He's so right-footed. It takes ages because he doesn't want to use his left foot. It stops momentum, stops everything. If Cucurella's not available, then don't invert anyone. You don't need to invert anyone. Just leave it as it is. I mean, just leave it.
Play.
Bro, he had a weird lineup today where he played instead of playing Malo Gusto right back and Vega left back, he went with Disasi right back, having zero support for Neto. And Malo Gusto to support Sancho on the left, but inverting at the same time. And I'm like, bro, you're too scared for some.
He could have played Gusto right back. If you want to invert Vega, then it helps move Enzo up a bit more so he can support the attack and Sancho, and just leave it like that. You're right.
He tinkered today. He tinkered for no reason.
And we played too slow. That was instruction to play too slow as well. That was an instruction. It wasn't like the players took it on themselves because they're young players. You know what I mean? They'll take on the coach tells them to. But
Yeah.
that's a learning
Listen,
curve.
people, this will take you to AA United when he's going to shit on his own club, but he's going to praise Ahmad. He's going to shit on Bruno. You know it. You know it's going to happen. So this is going to take you to 1 like. We reached 200 likes. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, everyone that supported us, super chatted us, supported the channel. Rack, of course, Ram, Andro, and Cam. Merry Christmas. I know I'm not sure who celebrates Christmas, who doesn't, but happy holidays anyway to everyone that is here. I hope all of you and your families are great, well, happy, and healthy. Tomorrow, the National League is at 2 p.m. UK time. I'm gonna have Gunnar Souls with Tom Little. That would be fire. That'll be absolutely fantastic. Box office.
Ask him to repeat his Rashford statement.
Box office. Box office. I'll see you guys soon. Stay here. Don't go anywhere for Ahmed. I'll see you guys soon. We're out of here, people.